He's the coordinator for communication at Referendum Liberia. Elvis Morris, vice president for strategy and stakeholders engagement at the company. Both are here as guests on this last segment of the program. Welcome to ELBC. Welcome to the SMS, Mr. Kofi and Mr. Morris.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here this morning, and thank you for your.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for having us on your station and show this morning. And we very much happy to be here, and we appreciate that you're able to have on your show to be able to share some information that be very, very important to the community and the nation.
Definitely, and you guys are no stranger here at ELBC. Matter of fact, you've been here several times, and you here this morning again. But first, how's GVL? Let me start that way because, and in this public manner, I want to say thanks to GVL first because I know during the time, the heat of the COVID-19, when many were pulling out, I remember GVL called a news conference and said, "We are staying, we are not going anywhere." So let me say thanks for that because that also helped, and kept our economy steady during the heat of the COVID-19. But how is the company as we speak?
Well, as you said, I'm Elvis G. Morris, the Vice President for Strategy and Stakeholder Engagement at the Golden Volume Liberia. And, Jiva as a company has been working very hard, very well in the past years with all the up and downs we have had. We all know that internationally we have a serious economical problems within not only Liberia but worldwide. If you take into consideration, you just spoke of the COVID-19, and we guys been called recovery. It's not that easy to recover as it is. In GVR started off here since the 2010, and we went through Ebola the same way. During Ebola, the company shut down. We were still open, still operating, and we thank God, thank you that nobody ever contracted Ebola because the manner in which we were able to manage our health system and healthcare within the company. We came up to COVID-19. We know generally what's happening around the world. We know exactly during COVID-19 there was a lot of layoff. 25,000 people were laid off in France. We go up Indonesia, over 20,000 people. We stay in Liberia. We managed to maintain our workforce, even though it was a little bit difficult too. We needed to just slow down a little bit. We should have laid off something like 1,005. We did not. I think we did something before 600. At this time, knowing that COVID-19 is going on, we having some serious economical issues as well, knowing worldwide. For example, fertilizers that were being purchased, same quantity of fertilizer purchased last year at $11 million. This year is something like $80 million now for
Wow.
the same quantity of fertilizer that we want to purchase. So globally, things are a little bit difficult, but we're managing well. As we say in Liberia, as good Christian, thanks to God.
Thanks to God. Okay, so I want us to go to Grand Crew County, one of your operations areas there in the southeast. Recently, there was this accident. People lost their lives in that accident that was involving, GVL vehicle. Let me put it that way. Where are we with this entire accident issue? The victims, their families. Give us an update about this.
All right, thank you very much, Jack. Once again, it's an opportunity being here. My name is Alfonso Kofi. I work for GVR as a communications coordinator. Before my boss come in, let me just throw a little bit light about the situation in Grand Crew. Late last month, one of our trucks was involved in an accident, collided with a motorcyclist carrying a female passenger, which resulted into their death around the in Greenville, around the Blebo area. Um, GVL played a major role when the incident took place. The first thing we did was to take care of the deceased. Okay, the bodies were taken to a funeral home where they were deposited. GVL took all of the care of all of the funeral arrangement. We were to meet with family, meet with local authority there to ensure that we have a amicable, resolution. Okay, everything was taken care of as GVL, and today we can assure you that there is peace between the family and GVL because we amicably handled it. The police were involved, the county authority were involved, and the family. We had series of meetings with family. Though police report had it that the cyclist was in a run, but because people lost their life, we could not say we are waiting for insurance companies to come in. While it's true that all of our assets have been covered by insurance, we did not wait for insurance companies to come in. We took care of full responsibility of the entire process until it was over. And today, our team is still there working with family, encouraging even all of the motorcyclists to ensure that it was their safety in traffic whenever they are using those roads. Before we had a very high rate of accident when back in 2018, 2019. But because we have a very strong health and safety department working in collaboration with our transport department and Labrador National Police, today I can tell you that our accident rate is very low with a huge number of fleets we have. Today we have over 160 vehicles in our fleet. But you don't hear about too many accidents because there are a lot of measures we have put in place to ensure that these things, they are curtailed or they are minimized. But however, it happened and the people, they are already buried and the family are there. We are still working with them.
Yeah, because I think our correspondent reported that the lady who passed in that accident had a. Okay, I think we need to do this for the people. Is this something that is a felt need? People of the communities ask GVL
Exactly.
we need this.
Exactly. Let me just give you a little bit background quickly. GVA has a sustainability department.
Okay.
That department responsibility is to work very closely with the community, different stakeholders, to make sure that the concessions are or what discussed within the concession agreement. Doing several meetings event before, so it's not something that GVA just crafted in their mind and came out and said we should have a livelihood project. No, community has been requesting that. Backyard farm garden, for example, could you support our backyard farm garden? If you want to do it for individual, do you want to do it for town? Do you want to do it with Panama chief? So Dave has given a time dribbling by the sustainability department in looking for areas that will be impacted by this, what they are asking for.
Okay.
And the way it being strategized is not being strategized by GVL alone. It's strategized with the community. That's why we even have a coordinator specialized in this that drive or coordinate the program between GVL, the community, and the engagement of the NGOs as well. And then we create MOUs in those areas. So it's not something that you want to put on the community. I want to say this off the record, but it's not off the record because I'm on air. Do not overlook the community right now. I mean, our communities are being well informed. So whenever there's an issue as such, they will be contacted. They are contacted at the head. And most of the time, the sustainability department is to listen. Is to listen in how best we can come to your needs. Because I think in the past, what had happened is that even if you were doing something better and the community didn't go in that direction, people will give you a different definition and a wrong definition to that. So even now, if one person just gave, I want to give a wrong definition, we send you over to the community. And if possible, the community will answer your questions.
Okay, so we're talking to Mr. Elvis Morris and Alfonso Kofi. Mr. Morris is the Vice President for Strategy and Stakeholders Engagement at Golden Veredum, Liberia. Alfonso Kofi is the Communication Director at the company. Like I said, at 9:30 this morning, we will have on the line Presidential Press Secretary Solo Kebe to give us a bit of update that we need from his office. That will come up at 9:30 this morning. But in the meantime, we have these officials from Golden Veredum, Liberia here as guests. the southeast is not, too populated that we know. Is your concession area populated as well? Do you have a good population in your concession area? Okay.
The man won't bring politics in our thing. So he is not
No,
populated.
no, no.
So you want us
No.
to say and say the so you don't
No.
have population?
No, no, definitely.
Wherever you have concessions such as GVO, the population grows very fast.
Okay.
Very, very fast. Especially where we also give our housing, so family will grow. I mean,
Yeah.
once you have housing distributed to your workers that have a possibility of having light, electricity, and water within that area, there will be, yes, we are populated.
Yeah.
And because we are populated, this is why we also, within the concession agreement, we have to talk about schools.
Okay.
Right? What we call the GES program of the Golden Valley of Liberia. Golden Valley
Educational Support Program.
Okay.
If you read the concession agreement, Article 11.
I listen to your skill get his school deeply. I think my recommendation to him is that I don't want Golden Valley to do business with an individual like some other lawmaker will come and say, my man, I get a bunch, I get a county in my hand. I think whatever they pay, investing million should benefit the citizenry across, not to deal with one lawmaker who might not last people.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's hear from another person. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Robert Principal Carl on Unification City, Lower Margibi County, for the elite intellectual class of Margibi County.
Let's hear.
I listened to your studio there and you spoke word. I want to say congratulations to him. But I have a recommendation for him pertaining to the part of Margibi County. At least to help many of our farmers. When you come to Margibi, there are a lot of vacant land and people really want to farm. But they
My man Mike Kibi, your area that a rubber area. Oh, they put talking about palm, yo. You get area there for palm?
we get a lot of land in Margibi here.
Okay.
So if they come and help the farmer here, I think it will be put in and good for the people of Margibi County.
Thank you so much. Let's take this last person and get the response from our guest. Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
This is George calling from London.
All right, John. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah. Want to hear from your students whether they will empower the local farmers to do farm farming.
Okay. All right. He's asking about empowerment of local farmers involved in palm farming. You would like to respond?
All
to
right.
the-
I just, again, I will take my time to explain this. It's very easy, again, to have the company responsible in answering to this. We call that program the smallholder program.
The outgrow.
Outgrower program. The outgrower program allows farmers, to be able to plant, that GVO will participate in giving up the technical support to have those particular programs, smallholder program, put in place. Now, if you notice, GVO started working, there was a doctor that came from abroad and did a broad study on the smallholder program within GVL and in the counties where we are. How can we be, what model can we use to have that done? Now, within that, the smallholder program is defined as such. The smallholder program will be put in place. GVL as a company will support the technical and others with it, and the funding will come from government.
Okay, so government will provide funding for that. one.
Government will
Government
provide.
should source the funding.
According to
The
the
concession agreement.
Yeah,
concession
they should
agreement.
source it. They could provide it, whatever, but it could be sourced out by government so it could be implemented.
Okay.
And again, people should not think that the government is sleeping. No. GVL, the government, and other partners has been discussing this for the past years, and hopefully, we really will hoping that we can find an end to this road. First of all, the model has been established to know what kind of model will be used if we go up to the smallholder farming, how will it be implemented. So once the funding is sourced out, then we will be able to have the implementation fully done.
Okay.
This is in progress, it's in process, and this is not a one-party issue. It's a global kind of general work from each party in there. I just like people to understand that part of it. GVL is doing what's supposed to be done, government is doing what's supposed to be done. Again, we're talking about the economical backlash and problems. Nobody's listening. All right? We want to talking about what we think can be done on that. That's good. That's my answer to the smallholder program. Number two is the Maryland County part of it. GV has never, I mean, under my supervision, I have never worked with a particular lawmaker to say they are the ones sponsoring. We have in place what we call the employment committee. These are high people with high integrity. This is the reason why when you see now in the newspapers, we send out adverts. These letters come back, they are screened, and then before it gets even to the employment committee. The employment committee consists of top management from here with coordination with the HR department in Jakarta, Indonesia. So it's no more kind of one eye issue that you can say, no, that my brother got to employ. If your brother is he's very much experienced and he has the potential of what we're asking for, yes, he will be employed.
Mikey B.
And additionally, before I come to the Margibi issue, we do not deal with individuals when we are operating, okay? We got committees that we work with, individual communities. We work directly with the local people that provide the land and not government officials, except where something happening and the government official want to make their own intervention on behalf of their people. But we do not deal with government officials. For Margibi, our concession agreement gave us the right to operate in 5 counties.
Okay.
That is
Mikey B is not part.
Sino, Grand Crew, River G, Maryland, and River says Margibi is not part. So
Okay, so let me just hold you and I ask you this question. Recently, a lawmaker of River G County announced that Referendum was extending its operation there, even though it's part of your concession agreement, part of your concession area. But is there any plan to start soon operation in River G?
I think that was in the newspaper, and we responded to that, saying that while it is true that people are asking us to expand, but for now we do not have expansion plan.
Okay.
Because we have stop orders for RSP because of so many reasons. Until we work on our sustainability action plan, when these stop orders are lifted, then we will make a decision to see whether we can expand to all of our concession counties. But for now, we do not have a concession expansion plan.
Okay.
Okay, now in this direction is that it doesn't mean we can start looking around. All right, it's one of the county that we that's been put into our operational area. While we are trying to mitigate and solve the issues that we have with RSPO, it's also important to see what, in case today and tomorrow that is lifted and we want to expand, if we could make propositions to the operations that are responsible for those kind of things.
Okay, so we don't have much time. We will just take maybe a minute or two from the both of you to close this edition of the program.
All right, thank you very much, Jarp Davies. Once again, we want to extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved family, the 2 people that lost their life during the accident in Grand Crew County. We want to say we are sorry. We God console them during this difficult time, though we are working with them, and the insurance companies will be with them shortly to have some of those things that they're supposed to be doing. I want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to come here to provide updates on our activities. We want to encourage our communities who remain committed in working with them. We are open to dialogue. Issues that will come up, let us dialogue together and not fight. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you to you for having us to come on this station each time, at least to give some clarifications to issues. My advice and way I see that we could succeed in having this concession continuing with our problem, even though there will always be, is that the more we have problem in having strike and go slow, it cuts down our operations. You lost economically badly, and that can lead to a lot of other issues. So I think the company, as of today, we know very well they are very good in dialoguing. In case of anything, we are open to dialogue. We are open to find a solution together. And I hope we can be, as Liberians, be able to keep dialogue and solve our issues and have a better future for our kids in the future. Thank you very much for having us on the show.
Thank you very much. He's Elvis Morris, the Vice President for Strategy and Stakeholders Engagement at Referendum, Liberia. Earlier was Afonso Kofi, the Communication Coordinator.